love the warmth of family, gatherings, delicious feasts, and of course the spirit of gratitude. But let's face it, sometimes those gatherings, they can come with some strong opinions, and that can make things pretty awkward. So joining me now with some tips to make sure that our holiday happenings go smoothly and are a success is the head of the Etiquette School of New York, Patricia Fitzpatrick. Patricia, thanks so much for taking the time to be with me. If I'm hosting dinner this year and I'm setting the table, what are some of the tips that can help me make sure that my home is ready to go when I have people coming over?
When you're hosting and you know the number of guests coming, you can plan ahead, and hopefully you have seats for all your guests. Sometimes over the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, we have larger gatherings and we have seats for. That's a different story. But today we'll talk about setting the table with enough seats for everyone. Planning ahead is one of the keys, the biggest key really, to stress-free entertaining. So having a place for everyone means, having enough room for them at the table. I like to measure, and it's not really my idea, it's an etiquette tip from long ago that everyone uses in formal table settings, is to set, each place setting should be from the middle of one plate to the middle of the next plate, 2 feet or 24 inches if you have room, okay? That gives people room to talk because they're close enough, and also not, bump elbows when they're eating. So yes, you showed the perfect, perfect arrangement. Everyone should have whatever you're going to be serving, in other words, enough cutlery for each of the courses. Usually for the holidays, especially Thanksgiving, I know we like to have soup first, so you would need a soup spoon. And then the other courses are generally served together, rather than having soup, salad separate, main course, dessert. Usually the middle or the entree, the main dish, is a number of dishes served at the same time, which means you only need 1 knife and 1 fork. The way the table setting that you have now shows that you're having salad as a separate course, okay? And you're having a fish course. I doubt for these meals you'll be having that many courses, but if you are, and you plan ahead of time with all of the cutlery you need, then it just is easier for entertaining, and it looks more festive and wonderful. So look at that table setting. That's why the holidays are so fun for decorating, because it's Thanksgiving. You can put decorative fall arrangements, and I like to put chocolate turkeys small chocolate turkeys
Yeah.
at each person's table setting.
And
Yes.
there's a lot of work that goes into setting up a perfect setting as you have it, but it's the time of year where extended family starts bringing their new significant others around. What do you do if there is someone? How do you handle that situation if they bring in someone who you weren't expecting?
Well, first of all, it's very rude.
It sure is. It is. It's awkward.
Yes. It's very rude, because the host, our hostess will have planned the number of table settings that she needs for everyone. But sometimes it's buffet style, in which case it makes it a lot easier to accommodate extra people. When it's buffet style, and perhaps you have more people than you have seats at the table for, you can wrap your knives and forks in napkins, and it really doesn't matter how many people come, as long as you have enough food for them.
Absolutely.
That's the other thing. But yes, but people should know that it's a good idea, and it's very polite and respectful of the hostess to let them know ahead of time if you're bringing someone with you.
And once you have everybody sitting at the table, we've probably all been there, everything's going fine, then that one person decides to bring up politics or something going on in the world. What is the best way to handle conversation during the holidays?
First of all, and I think every fall, before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, you'll see articles in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, your paper, online. Never talk about politics.
That still rings true.
With family gatherings. Never talk about politics. Our country, as you know, is very divided right now, and people feel very strongly about whichever party or person that they would like to see win an election. So why cause hurt feelings? Why have controversy? We don't want to talk about politics. We don't want to talk about religion. We don't want to talk about money. We don't want to talk about anything that can upset people at these gatherings. because these gatherings are, sometimes we only see family members once a year, literally, for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So why wouldn't we want to talk about things like what we've been doing for the year, vacations, hobbies, books you've read, movies, and hopefully more movies we'll be seeing next year now that the strike is over, I believe.
Yeah. Patricia, once we're sitting at the table, what are the best table manners that we can bring with us so we can be a good guest?
Yes, that's a good way to put it, because being a good guest shows respect for everyone attending the event and also the host of the event, and it also helps you make a good impression on others. I'll just mention maybe the top 5, or well, it's hard to do that for me because I have a number of those. At any rate, when you sit down, as soon as you sit down, put your napkin on your lap. It stays on your lap until the meal is over, unless you have to go to the restroom, in which case you put it on your chair. But never put it back on the table until everybody's finished. Number 2, wait until everyone is at the table and ready to begin eating Because remember, the holidays, it's about eating, but it's also about being social and making conversation with the people you're sitting with. So you want to take your time, wait until everyone's at the table. You want to make sure you're not talking with food in your mouth. If things need to be passed at the table, because sometimes people at the holidays, they'll put everything in the middle of the table to be passed. So you pass from right to left, not reaching over someone to get something. If it's too far away, you ask for it to be passed.
It's so important to remember those little things and have it in just the back of your mind when you come. And as you're saying, being a good guest is somewhat of your responsibility around the holidays.
Right. And it just makes it more pleasant for everyone to have a meal together, right? When people have put their best manners on display.
Perfect. Head of Etiquette School of New York, Patricia Fitzpatrick. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Bye, Chris. Bye, everyone.